You ever propose to someone and they laugh so hard they nearly spill their mimosa? No? Then, congratulations! You've avoided the most humiliating public execution of self-worth a man can legally experience without being arrested for disturbing the peace. Let me take you back to the moment I realized my entire relationship was a joke. Only the punchline was me. And apparently, I'd been delivering it flawlessly for 8 months straight. I planned it like a psychopath in love. You know the type. The guy who screenshots Pinterest boards and analyzes Instagram stories like he's working for the FBI's romance crimes unit. Reservations at Meridian Sky, the rooftop spot she always posted but never invited me to. The same place where she'd take those candid photos that required 17 takes and a personal lighting assistant named Brad. The ring? Custom. 3 months rent. Hell, 3 months of ramen if we're being honest. I even picked the one she secretly bookmarked on Pinterest. Yeah, I saw the tab. Right between DIY face masks and signs your man isn't ready for marriage. Real subtle, Jessica. I practiced the lines in my car like I was auditioning for a rom-com I wasn't cute enough to star in. My Honda Civic became a confessional booth where I rehearsed love speeches to my rearview mirror. Even my car probably thought I was pathetic. She showed up 30 minutes late, said her lashes were giving war today, which, in retrospect, was the most honest thing she'd said in months, because she was about to commit a war crime against my dignity, and I still smiled, like a man about to crash headfirst into oncoming traffic and call it destiny, like a turkey volunteering for Thanksgiving dinner. The restaurant was perfect. Golden hour lighting, champagne bubbles catching the sun, other couples stealing glances at what they thought was romance unfolding. The whole scene looked like a Kay Jewelers commercial, if Kay Jewelers specialized in emotional homicide. I got down on one knee. Her friends, who'd coincidentally shown up at the same restaurant, pulled out their phones. I thought they were capturing a beautiful moment. Turns out, they were documenting a public execution. And she laughed. Not a giggle. Not a nervous, OMG, this is happening. I mean, laughed. Like she thought I was joking. Like I'd just offered her a Taco Bell receipt with "Marry Me" scribbled in Sharpie. Like I was the opening act at a comedy club she didn't remember buying tickets to. The laughter went on, and on. I'm still on one knee, ring box open, looking like a man proposing to a hyena having a breakdown. Other diners started staring. Not the good kind of staring, the kind reserved for car accidents and public meltdowns. The kind that makes you the cautionary tale strangers tell at dinner parties for the next decade. And then she asked, "You're serious?" I was. She wasn't. And that's when I noticed her phone was already unlocked, open to a group chat titled Fool's Gold. The irony wasn't lost on me. Even her group chat names had better comedic timing than my proposal. Later that night, I did what any man with a bruised ego and Wi-Fi would do. I snooped. Not proud of it. But then again, I wasn't proud of a lot of things that week. Like my credit score after buying that ring, or my browser history after Googling how to return engagement rings at 3 a.m. I remembered her passcode, her dog's birthday. Because of course it was. The same dog she loved more than me, which should have been red flag number 1. Or maybe red flag number 12. I'd lost count somewhere around the time she started rating my cooking on Yelp. Inside that group chat were screenshots of me, messages about watching him fall for it, memes about men who propose before fixing their teeth, one of which featured my exact smile. Apparently, I'd become the poster child for premature proposals and questionable dental hygiene. She'd sent a photo of the ring, not because she liked it, because she wanted her friends to rate it on a scale of LOL to return it immediately. The ring that took me 3 months to save for was being critiqued like a community college art project. I wasn't her partner. I was a content strategy, a walking, talking meme generator with feelings and a 401k. But the best part? There was another name in the chat. Just an emoji. A lion. Because nothing says I'm cheating on you like choosing the king of the jungle as your contact picture. I didn't recognize the number, but he had sent her a voice note, titled, "Did he actually do it?" The voice was deep, confident, the kind of voice that probably never had to practice proposals in a Honda Civic, the kind of voice that knew exactly what it was doing when it called other men's girlfriends at midnight. Now, I know what you're thinking. Robert, why didn't you just confront her? Because I'm not stupid, I'm petty. And there's a difference. Stupid would have been staying. Petty was what came next. I saved the number. Reverse searched it like I was working for the NSA. Got a name. Travis Kane, her gym buddy, her trainer, her platonic accountability partner. You know the type. The man who conveniently only calls your girl after midnight and during thunderstorms. The guy who spots her on exercises that definitely don't require spotting. His Instagram was a masterpiece of subtle flexing and motivational quotes. Pictures of protein shakes, sunrise workouts, and gym selfies that screamed, "I steal other men's girlfriends between sets." The kind of guy who uses entrepreneur as a personality trait and hustling as a verb. So, I scheduled a training session with Travis. Told him I wanted to get my life right, which wasn't entirely a lie. I just had a different definition of right than he probably expected. I wore joggers that hadn't seen a gym since Obama was president. Brought protein powder I didn't even open. Just used it as a prop, like a method actor preparing for the role of guy who definitely works out. He recognized me. I could tell by the way his smile faltered for exactly 0.3 seconds before reconstructing itself into customer service mode. The same way Jessica's smile used to shift when I caught her texting someone at 11 p.m. But he played it cool, said, "You here to get your life right?" I said, "No, I'm here to confirm what I already know." He blinked, then smiled. That predator smile guys like Travis master in high school and never retire. And said, "She wasn't supposed to let you see that chat." Not what chat. Not, "I don't know what you're talking about." Just confirmation that I was exactly as pathetic as I suspected. I didn't throw a punch. Didn't even raise my voice. Violence is what stupid people do. I just took out my phone and hit record. Because if life was going to turn me into a cautionary tale, I was going to make sure I had evidence. I said, "Tell me how long you've been sleeping with her." He said, "Define sleeping." I said, "Define lawsuit." Funny how quickly semantics disappear when legal consequences enter the conversation. He talked. Oh, he talked. Like a man who'd been waiting for someone to ask the right questions. Travis Kane, it turned out, was less a gym trainer and more a relationship demolition expert. He'd been around before me, during me, and according to his detailed confession, which he delivered with the enthusiasm of a man reading his own biography, Jessica had a thing for proposing men. She found it hilarious when guys got serious. Said she collected proposals like some people collect stamps, except her hobby involved crushing dreams instead of preserving dead presidents on paper. It wasn't about the rings, or the restaurants, or even the men, really. It was about the power. The moment when someone vulnerable enough to love her publicly asked her to love them back, and she got to decide their fate with a laugh. And me? I was just the latest investment in her comedy career. A punchline with a pulse and a savings account she'd helped me drain. Travis even had a name for guys like me. Proposal bait. Men who were serious enough to propose but not smart enough to see it coming. The emotional equivalent of fishing with dynamite. I left the gym. Not sore from working out, sore from the weight of being someone's entertainment. And then I did something that felt stupid in the moment, but brilliant in hindsight. I sent the recording to her mom. Because if Jessica was running a cottage industry of heartbreak, maybe her family needed to know they'd raised a small business owner in emotional terrorism. Her mom replied with a thumbs up. Just a thumbs up. Not, "I'm so sorry." Not, "This is terrible." Not even, "I'll talk to her." A thumbs up. Like I just shared a mildly amusing meme about cats. Turns out, this wasn't Jessica's first public rejection. It was her fifth, a pattern. One guy tried to sue her for emotional distress. Another got therapy and moved to a different state. One guy, according to her mother's surprisingly detailed response, found Jesus and became a missionary. Apparently, being rejected by Jessica was so traumatic it required divine intervention. She even had a folder on her phone called Marriage Material Rejected. Screenshots of proposal moments, reaction videos, even Yelp reviews of the restaurants where she'd destroyed dreams. It was like a trophy case, except instead of awards, it was filled with evidence of psychological warfare. Guess whose picture was featured prominently in the collection? The folder had subcategories. Public proposals, my category. Private proposals, apparently less entertaining. And almost proposals, guys who got smart and bailed before the finale. I was filed under greatest hits. So, I packed up everything. The hoodie she stole from me and never returned. The toothbrush she never used because she kept a spare at Travis's place. The candle she swore made her feel safe, probably because it reminded her of all the bridges she'd burned. Her stuff filled exactly one garbage bag, which felt appropriate. I didn't call her, didn't text, didn't even change my relationship status on Facebook, because that would have required acknowledging we'd had a relationship worth changing. I just mailed the ring back. Same box, same wrapping, like I was returning a defective product to Amazon. Which, in a way, I was. With a sticky note that said, "You're right, I was joking." Because if she wanted to turn everything into a joke, I figured I'd give her the punchline she deserved. Weeks went by. Silence. I started sleeping through the night again, stopped checking Instagram stories like a man monitoring enemy troop movements, even started enjoying my own cooking without worrying about Yelp reviews. Then I got an anonymous envelope. No return address. The kind of mail that makes you wonder if you've accidentally joined a spy novel or if someone's trying to serve you papers. Inside, a Polaroid, old school. The kind of photo that takes time to develop, which meant someone had planned this moment. It was her, on one knee, proposing to Travis, in what looked like the same restaurant where she'd publicly executed my dignity. Ring looked familiar. Same cut, same setting, same everything. She was wearing the dress I'd bought her for our 6-month anniversary. Travis was wearing the expression I probably had during my proposal, shock mixed with something that might have been joy if you squinted hard enough. On the back, in handwriting I didn't recognize, "Your turn to laugh." But here's the thing about revenge served cold. Sometimes it's more satisfying than revenge served hot. I framed it, hung it in my bathroom, right above the mirror where I brush my teeth every morning, the same teeth she used to mock in group chats. Because every morning I look at that photo and remember, some people collect red flags, others frame them. The picture tells a better story than any explanation I could give. Jessica, down on one knee, proposing to the same man she cheated with. Travis, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else, probably because he knew exactly what kind of woman says yes to a proposal from someone who destroys proposals for fun. It's the kind of irony that would be funny if it weren't so perfectly predictable. She'd turned proposal destruction into an art form, and now she was trying to create something genuine with the same hands that had demolished everything else. I didn't lose a fiancé. I lost a character in a sitcom I didn't audition for, a show where the joke was always on me, but I never got to see the script. And the punchline? I'm not the fool she laughed at. I'm the one telling the story. See, there's something beautiful about being the narrator of your own cautionary tale. You get to control the ending. You get to decide what it all means. You get to choose whether you're the victim or the survivor. Jessica's still out there, probably collecting more proposals, building her portfolio of human wreckage. Travis probably learned what every other guy in that group chat already knew, that dating someone who finds love hilarious isn't actually that funny when you're the one in love. But me? I wake up every morning, brush my teeth, my perfectly imperfect teeth that photograph badly but chew food just fine, and look at that picture of Jessica proposing to her trainer, and I smile. Not because I'm bitter, not because I'm angry, but because I finally got the joke. The joke was never on me. The joke was me. And now that I'm in on it, it's actually pretty funny. Stay bitter? Nah, stay better. Because sometimes the best revenge is living well enough to laugh at the people who thought your pain was entertainment. And if you're wondering whether Jessica and Travis are still together, well, let's just say I keep getting anonymous Polaroids in the mail. Each one tells its own story. But that's a different tale for a different time.